Hello, friends. Good evening, everyone. And today we are here with on every Friday, as usual, 4 to 6 Youth Excellence Symposium. And today, starting 11th episode. So, marvelous job by our Women and Young Members Excellence Committee and specifically the coordinators, the moderators who are putting best of their efforts for bringing out new topics to all of you. So we have with us Deep Cheda, the Gautam Mota, who are the pillars of our programs. And today specifically we have Shreya, Maitri, and also Ronak, who will be moderating today's sessions. And very interesting topic we have today: family business and entrepreneurship. So, friends, nowadays everyone. So, when we see the results coming out of CA final, so about 10 to 12,000 member qualify, and majority of them apply for campus placement program and they go in for job or big four or like that. Some very few members come in the practice, and out of them very few come for the entrepreneurship. So I'll share my experience in 2 minutes. When I qualified CA in 2000, and I have done my entrepreneurship management from Indian School of Business in 2013. When I did this entrepreneurship management course from ISB Hyderabad, a batch of 30 members who are the entrepreneurs who are in practice. So there were a batch of 30 people, out of which I was the alone chartered accountant and others were the business. So when the topic, there were different topics of this program, and some sessions were like on marketing, or some sessions on technology, on the strategies and the finance and accounts. So when the session of finance and accounts came, it was 1 week session for 1 week session on campus for each of these modules, and we had lot of case studies into the same. So when we were discussing about the finance and accounts, the what I have observed, it was very difficult for these business people to understand the finance and accounts. Where we were actually, as a chartered accountant, I was able to understand the finance and accounts as well as the business strategies also. So why I am telling you this story is that as a chartered accountant, we can do well in as a businessman, as a entrepreneurship also. One has to have passion for the same. And accordingly, we thought a business and a chartered accountant goes so well. If a chartered accountant is a business person or an entrepreneur, can do wonders in the business. And accordingly, we thought, let us bring this topic to our young members, that is that family business and entrepreneurship. Nowadays, what I am observing over here, a lot of CAs who are qualifying, they have their family businesses. Their parents, their father are into the business. But these CAs, young generations, don't want to go in the business, which is set up by their father. But one has to actually think. And this is an example, live example, CA Tejas Nagara, who has gone into the family business and he is taking that business to further. I have seen various such examples. They are converting into the business and makes billions of rupees by bringing some technology, by bringing some strategies into the family business, which are started by their parents and the grandparents. So if we do something different, do something unique, and so we can do the wonders in the business also as a chartered accountant, because we have the experience of articleship, and we have the experience to understand the finance, which is the base root of all the businesses. Whatever business is there, but finance and accounts required is the base for all the businesses. And that is how we discussed with Tejas, and he is there today to make all of us understand how he has thought of to go into the entrepreneurship, and what he is doing, and how he is taking his family business to the next level. And we welcome you, Tejas, to this wonderful Youth Excellence Symposium. The next session will be taken up by Sandeep, and we have very dedicated moderators also. As I've introduced everyone, I welcome all my dear young participants, and I'm sure this session will be very, very fruitful. As I understood that speakers have brought a lot of wonderful videos in their presentation also. If you have any question, please put it in the chat box. All the questions will be answered by the speakers. That is what they have assured also. With these words, I welcome all of you to this Youth Excellence Symposium, session 11, episode 11, and welcome all of you. Over to coordinators. Thank you so much. We'll be taking up now next for the
Ronak sir.
introduction.
Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. So now I have been given the opportunity to introduce our speaker for the evening, Tejas Nagada. Tejas Nagada is the head of business development department at the Antara Jewelry. He began his academic career in finance and pursued chartered accountancy and CFA level 2 and handled the finance department initially at the Antara Jewelry. Tejas joined Antara Jewelry in the year 2014 and has been an expertise in digital marketing, content strategy, brand building, creator management, and content execution. Tejas also works on brand collaborations and he identifies the medium that would bridge the gap between the brand and the consumer. Tejas is on a mission to set new rules of storytelling, ensuring that the brand maintains peace with the ever-evolving consumer needs, and as a result of which, brand continues to grow exponentially. Tejas, in his free time, enjoys cricket and traveling. Over to you, Tejas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction, Ronak. So it's a Friday evening, and I've been given this topic to talk about family businesses and entrepreneurship. Actually, it's quite interesting because as Preeti ma'am in the start, she rightly mentioned that a lot of CAs, after completing chartered accountancy, they opt for either corporates or they opt for businesses. And I think in recent few years, a lot of them are also opting for entrepreneurship, which is great. And I think which also justifies why, because chartered accountancy as a course teaches us such diverse topics which are helpful in the business and the entrepreneurship, along with the CA practice, obviously. So today, I would like to share a few things about this industry, like the family business or entrepreneurship. So I would like to share my screen.
In the meantime, I'd also like to share with all of you that we have designed and organized one ESG conclave, India at center stage, on 8th July 2023 at Geo World Center. That is also at very, very subsidized rate, and with top of the speakers, everything into ESG and sustainability. I request all of you to please enroll and be part of this ESG conclave, which is one of the best conclave and first time it is happening in India, and all top level speakers across industry we have invited. Yeah, over to you, Tejas.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say in recent years, I think most of us must be watching Shark Tank. I think that show, that has really brought, I think, a revolution in India in terms of the startup culture. Most of us now understand, what is startup, what are different ideas that people have, and surprisingly, we have got a lot of entrepreneurs from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that is quite interesting. There is so much of opportunity. So I think someone who is really considering starting something of his own, should give it a thought that whether that industry what he or she is thinking into is really what opportunities are lying into that and what are the market share. But I'm really sure the next 10 years are of I would say Indian glory. So anything, if you have a useful solution to any small problem, you should give it a thought, see the market size, test the waters and start something. I would really recommend that, because it's a very good time to start some business of your own. And as I mentioned about Shark Tank, I would like to play a small video where it says that, a lot of the sharks are actually chartered accountants. Just have a look at the video.
मेरे फादर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट थे और मेरे पापा एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट थे। हाँ, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट। IIM बहुत हो गए, अब चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की बारी है।
Yes. I think the last sentence that IIMs बहुत हो गए, अब chartered accountants की बारी है. I think it's very true. We feel that in entrepreneurship and startups, generally MBAs do well, but I think that's not the case. I think CAs are in fact better equipped with better knowledge to run a business. And in the future, in the slides coming ahead, I would show which are the famous veterans of the industry of the big companies who are actually CAs. Some of you might be knowing them, and for some it might be a new knowledge, but I would like to share, like for example, Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla. He is actually a CA. He's a chairman of Aditya Birla Group. I'm not sure how many of you were aware of this, because I wasn't aware. While researching for this topic, I came to know that Mr. Birla is also a CA. And actually, he is handling Aditya Birla, which is largest global conglomerates in India. So I would say he's bringing the glory to the CA profession. Next is Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Who doesn't know about him? He's Warren Buffett of India. He's also a CA. Next, Mr. Deepak Parekh. He's a chairman of HDFC Bank. He is actually a CA as well. And one of the good things, or one of the interesting things about Mr. Deepak Parekh, which I came to know, is he believes in philanthropy. At the same time, his thought is what he really thinks is that a company should give back to its stakeholders, not only to its shareholders, which is a very important thought. And I think this thought we have been always taught in chartered accountancy, that you should always think about all the stakeholders. And I think that chartered accountancy teaches that. The next is Mr. Motilal Oswal. Even he is a chartered accountant. And interestingly, you will be surprised to know that he has been awarded with Rashtriya Samman Patra for paying highest income tax to the country for 5 years. So all these stalwarts, they bring glory to the CA profession. And as you can see, being a chartered accountant, they have still established a very good businesses, and I feel one of the biggest businesses in the world. So interesting thing about is it how chartered accountants are able to do this. So I think chartered accountancy teaches us a lot of qualities, which is discipline and dedication, the high urge to learn, sense of accountability, ability to work in the team, right from doing articleship. We have been, told to work in a team. We have a strong sense of ethics. We are trustworthy, reliable, and obviously having a problem-solving attitude. So all these qualities, it really helps in the business sector, in the entrepreneurship. And these qualities, we are privileged that while studying chartered accountancy, all these qualities are already imbibed upon us. And I think very few courses, actually teach you so much. So the chartered accountancy course, I believe, is so diverse that it really prepares you for anything. That's my thought. And I think after looking at all these stalwarts like Mr. Birla, Motilal Oswal, I think I would really believe that more and more CAs should take up the top position in big companies. This is actually the quote which you can see on the screen. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that a signature of a CA is more important than signature of a PM. This sentence is enough justification about the role of CAs in the country. And I would also like to share one video, which is again by a shark, Mr. Aman. I think most of us know that he's also a chartered accountant. And many people ask him that, yeah, after becoming a chartered accountant, you have done this boat company, and how is it helping you? Like, how is chartered accountant helping you run a business like boat? So this is his response.
लोग कहते हैं कि सीए का क्या फायदा हुआ? सीए से मुझे जितना फायदा हुआ ना, क्योंकि लोग कहते हैं अब तू मार्केटिंग कर रहा है तो तेरी सीए की डिग्री तो वेस्ट हो। नहीं भाई, जितना how much CA has taught me, nothing else has taught me. You know what I mean? See, it is because of knowing. अगर मुझे कुछ करना होगा, मुझे पता है अगर 2 दिन भी होंगे ना, मैं कर लूंगा, क्योंकि बस 24 घंटे होते हैं। 18 घंटे कर सकते हैं, स्लॉग कर सकते हो। सीए के प्रिंसिपल्स जो होते हैं फाइनेंस के, अगर आपने वो सीख लिए तो लाइफ लॉन्ग आपको up to as a CA you've learned all that, you know all that, and you just brush up on those skills going forward. Valuation is done by CAs, due diligences are done by CAs, audits are done by CAs. They are the ones who tell you what you are doing right or wrong. I advise everybody that you should have CAs around you always.
Right.
लोग कहते हैं कि
I hope most of you were able to hear. Was it audible? I hope so. Okay. So yeah, I think this video itself says that how chartered accountancy has helped Mr. Aman in his business. As he rightly mentioned about due diligence, he mentioned about financial modeling. So all those things we feel that ये इसका आगे कैसे काम आएगा इसको, but even the smallest decisions regarding finance or regarding the internal controls, so whatever we have learned in CA, it definitely helps. I'll give you my example as well in the coming slides, that how chartered accountancy has helped me in my family business. Interesting statistics which I got to know while I was researching on this topic was that 27% of global CEOs are chartered accountants, right? So I think there's enough evidence that chartered accountants are doing great in corporate, in business, in entrepreneurship. Now let's talk about what is an entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? I know most of you know it, but just giving out a short introduction about who is an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is one who identifies useful solutions, right? What does this mean? This means that you need not have a world solving or something like you need not have something which changes the world, an idea which changes the world. It can be something very small. It can be something which is useful. Even that can be, even you can start a business with that idea, and you are an entrepreneur. You need not have anything like Elon Musk, which is a world-changing idea. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who are solving basic problems. Second is the one who has patience and belief, right? So you need a lot of patience. Initially, few years, you may not see profits. You may not see a lot of clients coming in, but you need to have a patience and belief. And I think as a chartered accountants, we know what patience is, right? After giving a lot of attempts, we've learned what patience is. and belief. Definitely our belief increases with every attempt, I believe. So the entrepreneur needs to have a lot of patience and belief. And last, ability to see opportunity in any problem. Like you, in your daily course, you must be coming through a lot of things where you feel, अरे यार ये ऐसा होता तो अच्छा होता, अरे यार इसमें ये solution ही अच्छा है. Sometimes that small solution is a big opportunity. So always, keep that eye on how you can solve a problem. Sometimes that problem is really great. Sometimes that solution that you have for the problem is really great and no one has actually thought about it. But yeah, you need to do market research. You need to, see, is there any other competitor who is doing that? If not, then the market is yours. So these are the basic qualities of an entrepreneur. So here I would like to give one more example of a chartered accountant, Mr. Simant Srivastav. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about him, but I basically researched a lot about him and I came to know that he started his own business at the age of 40, which is really very great. Because 40, I think, is an age where you are generally considered irrelevant in corporates. So, thinking of doing something at the age of 40 is really great, because having a stable job, he had a stable job of almost 15 years. And after 15 years, he thought of leaving that comfort zone and starting something of his own because he had an idea and he was really passionate about it. So what did he do? And again, he solved a very basic problem. So while just to give a brief of his idea, so while having dinner with his friends, they discussed about few topics, and one topic was that how salaried individuals, like those who are doing jobs and are they are earning salary, how they are paying, they are not aware of the tax planning, and because of which they are paying higher taxes. Because what happens in corporate is generally the company deducts your TDS while paying salary. So if company is not aware of your investments, of your, I would say, deductions, then they end up deducting higher TDS. So while discussing that, he saw that this is a common problem. And when he researched about him, he saw there are 6 crore salaried people who actually have this problem. And that's how he started a company called Mool Innovation Labs. It is a fintech company which helps the employees in effective tax planning. So again, a small thing, but the impact of which is very huge, right? For this, in fact, he had to learn technology. It's a fintech, people can online, they can plan or they can file returns. So being a CA or 15 years, he was working in an industry. He holded a good position, leadership positions in companies like Pantaloons, Payback, EduTech companies, but he was not very much aware of the technology part. So while starting a fintech company, he actually learned about technology and then established this. And today he's doing great. And I think this is also one of the great examples of a chartered accountant starting something of his own, a business at the age of 40. And I think, it's really great because if at this age, like I'm in my 30s, and if I think of doing something of my own, it's really difficult to get out of the comfort zone. So what he has done is truly amazing. Next. I have one more example here, Miss Nikita Agarwal. I think most of you must be knowing about her. At the age of 24, she had her own CA firm. Yeah, at the age of 24, she had her own CA firm, which is again very great, because I think after completing CA, taking an immediate step of starting a CA firm is also a very good decision, very brave decision. In a period of 5 years, she already has 600 plus clients. But we'll again think that a CA firm, to isme kaun si badi baat hai yaar, what is new in this? A lot of people do it. Again, right, a lot of people do it. But there are a lot of things to consider here. Whether if you are starting a CA firm, First of all, how different you would be from others. There are hundreds and thousands of CA firms, right? But how would you be different? What must have she thought while starting a CA firm? Was it easy while starting a CA firm? So interestingly, what she did is after completing CA, she worked as a credit manager in IIFL. Over there, she actually learned and understood that financial modeling and the funding advisory is a very big area. And CA, being a CA, she understood it very well. It was very easy for her to do financial modeling and to understand about funding, and that's what she did as a specialization. And while starting a CA firm, she was very sure that she wants to do financial modeling and funding advisory. So the specialization into a particular area helped her get so many clients in a very short period. So again, the point here is it's very important to have a niche. If you are starting, if you're thinking of something, make sure that you have a knack above others. You have a something better edge from the competition that will really help you to take ahead. And another important thing to note here is take the opportunity as and when it comes. Maybe Nikita must not have thought about doing something of financial modeling, funding, advisory had she not done, or had she not worked in IAFL as a credit manager. Initially, after completing CAs, we have this कि अरे मैं इधर कैसे करूँ, या how do I take up this job, how do I take up that job. But take every opportunity that comes to you. You never know what you learn out of that and what it can help you in future years. So that is one of the great things about Nikita. Also, I think technology adaptation. So when I researched about it, I also learned that they adopted technology into each and everything of their in the CA firm. And she also recommends that technology should be adapted as fast as possible in the business. So these were the few examples of CAs who have, after working in corporates or having their own firms, sometimes they also have started their own business. But I would like to say that, don't get swayed away by the glamour of, startups and entrepreneurship. It's good, but what we see, like example, Shark Tank, it's more of a glamour. हम सिर्फ वही देखते हैं कि they have pitched, they have raised so much money, and yeah, they are doing 2x, they are doing 3x, but that is only a 5% of what we have been seeing. So my advice is don't get swayed away by that glamour. Think through it properly. I would again say that, be ready for difficult beginnings. You have to keep that in mind, that it will be difficult in the beginning. You should be okay to not have salary for 6 months. So if you are okay in that space of not having salary for a few months, great. If you can do that, I think it's a great thing. So, but just remember that there can be few period where you will not be able to earn while starting a business. Also, another thing is barriers to entry. Like, your idea should not be easily copied by others. So for example, if you've set up something, how easy it is for others to enter that market. If it's relatively easy, then you have to rethink, because otherwise you will do all the efforts of setting that up and someone else might just copy it. Third, fundraising. Fundraising is also not easy. There was a period where every day you used to read the newspapers that, okay, this startup has raised so much funds, this startup has this valuation. But I think now that bubble is somewhere becoming realistic, where now the funds or fundraising is happening not only on the basis of valuation, but also on the basis of the quality of your product or the problem that your idea is solving. So the period of, that is easy to raise funds by just showing good valuation, I think that has gone now. And people are actually, the angel investors are actually looking for a quality solution and a sustainable solution, right? Think out of the box. I think that is important for everyone, not just entering into a startup space. Thinking out of the box is a need of the hour. Even me, or even we as a family business, day in and day out, we have to think something different from the competition. So thinking out of the box. And last is managing the finances. In a startup, you are really bootstrapped, or it's you, the funding is an issue. So you have to really manage your finances really well. So that was about the entrepreneurship that I wanted to share with you guys. Apart from that, the next topic is family business, which I wanted to point out. So family business, now family plus business. I think most of you must be aware. Just one second. Family business. So businesses which are run by family, obviously those are family business. I would like to give an example of myself here. So I completed my chartered accountancy, and 2 years I worked in a corporate. I worked as a valuation analyst in a finance company, where I learned various things about valuation of US startups. But over the period, I realized that instead of doing valuation for others, why not increase the valuation of my own family business? So there was always this family business. I was grateful enough that I had this to really bank upon. So after 2 years of doing that stint as a valuation analyst, I got an opportunity to join the family business. There was no force as such, but I just wanted to give it a try. That let's see. So we are into a fine jewelry retail setup. We have gold and diamond jewelry, and we are based in Mumbai. So my uncle, my dad, they are in this business almost since 40 years. So I just thought of, let's try, why not? In a month, if I don't like it, I can again go back to, where am I? So I started it. And, initially when I joined, the first thing, on the first day, what I did was I just opened Tally. Because Tally तो किया ही है, 4 years of articleship में सिर्फ Tally ही देखा है. So I was like, चलो let's start with finance. What you know best, let's start with that. So I started Tally, and I just was, going through few things, and I applied my knowledge of audit in the business, and I got few ratios like, inventory turnover ratios, and was up, I removed, and very interesting things, interesting analysis came upon that how we can increase our inventory turnover more. There's a big gap in the turnover of the industry and the inventory turnover that we have. Then there were few other comparisons of year-to-year expenses. There were few expenses which I compared year on year, and I saw that there were few expenses which were drastically increased. So what I'm trying to say is that the chartered accountant, whatever I learned in the course, I was able to apply in the day one. Comparatively, if anyone who has not done this, and who starts in a month, एक महीना तो लगता है सिर्फ ये सब समझने के लिए कि बस ये क्या है, what is balance sheet, what is P&L, because they only teach in other courses, they only teach on the top, like what is asset, what is liabilities, what is expense, what is income, but we actually go into the detail of each and everything. So that helped me actually to start up as a to start my stint at the family business. Eventually I moved into marketing because we had a senior account head over there to handle the finances, and there was we needed someone to start with marketing. So my knowledge of basically being young, I understood that it's important to have social media, it's important to do marketing, branding. Till then, we were doing marketing, but only in basic community newspapers. But I realized that I'm talking about almost 2017. So at that time, Instagram was pretty new. Facebook was still there, but Instagram was pretty new. And I saw a lot of brands on Instagram, and I thought that why Antra is not on Instagram. So almost in 2017, when I started as a marketing head, as a branding exercise, I started Instagram. I got marketing agencies on board. We had a marketing budget. We did marketing strategy. So that my whole purpose was to uh, get the brand out there and create a lot of awareness. Only then we'll get the business. And right now in 2023, I'm happy to say that we have almost 83,000 followers on Instagram, and we started at zero. It took us that time. It took patience. Again, I'm coming on that topic, patience. It takes time, but right now we are seeing the fruits of it. We are all, the marketing I would say the marketing things that we started back in 2017, like we started doing catalogs. We started, as I mentioned, Facebook, Instagram. We did a lot of photo shoots. So all those things, helped us where we are. And obviously, there are a lot many things to do ahead. But as a family business, I am grateful to my elders, who gave this opportunity to me. But again, obviously it's not as easy as we think. We had a family setup and everything happened. No, there are times where you actually have to fight for what you believe is right. The elders come with an experience. They have actually set up the business for 40 years, so they understand this in and out. But the second generation, even they have a role to play where they know the current trends. So matching the current trends with your family business ethics or values is a very crucial role that the young generation or the second generation have to do. So yeah, I would say being in a family business is not as easy. Obviously, you have to take it to the next level, and you're constantly analyzed for how you are doing it, how you are taking decisions. Yeah. So what is a family business? Just to give a small background, family business is a commercial organization. Obviously, it's a business, so we are here to earn. Decision making and ownership is in the hands of a family member or few family members. Again, since the decision making is in the hands of family members, is a faster decision making. Secondly, the profits are shared among the family, so they are highly motivated to do the business compared to a corporate sector where there are various levels and various hierarchies. In family business, there are less hierarchies, so decision making is faster and the motivation is faster. If there's a change in the trend, immediately you have to put into that effect, and within few, maybe say days or months, you have to be ready with the new strategy. So that is family business. I think few important family businesses in India. The first generation family businesses, like which we are hearing about, is Adani Group, Future Group, Bharti Enterprises. The second generation is Reliance, Wipro, and the third generation is the Tatas, Bajaj, Wipro, and Hero. So all these family businesses are very well known, and they are doing business since a long time. Now let's discuss about what are the features of family business. Mutual trust. Since the management are the business, are the family people, there's a mutual trust among themselves. So the decision making, where if someone is taking a decision, the other person, they easily trust, since it's a family setup. High motivation level, which I discussed previously. There is integrity, transparency, because whatever we do is going to end up in the family itself. So there's a high level of integrity, high level of transparency. Customer focus. This is a very important point, I would say, for the family business, that they are really customer focused. Since they interact with customers day in and day out, there's a direct interaction with the customers. So the focus, what is it that customers are liking, what is their pain point, that is important factor in the family business which we try to solve. Complete control, again, self capital. Yeah, a lot of family businesses actually avoid taking capital from the financial institutions. They have their own capital invested in the business, and that's why again they have a high motivation level, I feel. Fast decision making we discussed. Community building and charity, this is also one of the very important factors of the family business, is that family business, they really believe in community building. They work for the community. They do a lot of charity. So whatever they have earned, they give it back to the society. I think that is a very, very good feature or quality, I would say, of the family businesses. And I have seen a lot of family businesses, especially in our community, we being a Gujaratis and Kachis, I have seen a lot of family business owners. They actually give back to the community, which is a great thing. And I think it is one of the most important things to do in the business. It's not only profits, it is about giving back to the society as well. Before moving to the next slide, I actually wanted to share a few examples of how being a chartered accountant has helped me in the business. I would give two specific examples. So I would like to start with internal controls. I think we have all been, thought about internal controls while you were studying. So just an example of how my chartered accountant knowledge I was able to apply in developing the internal control for the brand. So basically what used to happen is we have invoices day in and day out coming in of expenses, right? There are a lot of expenses. So the invoice come in and the one single person authorizes it and there's a payment. The accounts team releases the payment. Now it was a single approval. So there were high chances of maybe manipulation or some fraud at some level happening. So in order to avoid that, what we did is whenever an invoice comes, we used to have two stamps. Basically, first stamp was a received stamp. Like whoever has received the material, it can be boxes, it can be bags, or which we packing bags, which we give to the customers. The person who has received it has to put his signature and date. Like on this day, I have received this. So if there's any issue, we can again, that person is responsible for the product. That was the one thing. And second stamp was of the person who has checked the invoice. So on the second stamp, there was one signature of the person who has checked the invoice, whether the rate is correct, whether the quantity of the goods received is correct. All those points were checked, and there was an initial of the person. There was a third signature of the person who has made the entry in tally or a books of accounts, and the fourth signature of the person who has released the payment. So here you see, by implementing this, we were able to almost reduce, or I would say negligible errors were happening in our accounting, and the people who were signing it, they were rechecking whatever has come. We have avoided, and I think we have saved a lot of money because of that, because many times it so happens that people who are approving, they are busy with other things and they just sign it. They don't check sometimes the invoices, or if there is any previous balance of that vendor which has to be deducted, and the payment, sometimes we have paid twice. And then we realized, while closing the book of accounts or while doing audit, that a mistake ho gaya. So these small step of internal controls, it helped actually to take our errors down to zero. I would not say zero, but yeah, almost 99%. So that was, one of the, I think, things which I was able to apply. There was one more thing. Another thing was about marketing. So when I'm handling marketing for the company, since I had the knowledge of financial modeling while doing my articleship as well as doing a job, I realized that the budgeting is very important for the marketing activity. You cannot just spend कि चलो आज ये अच्छा लगा है, आज ये न्यूज़पेपर में ऐड दिया, आज ये इंस्टाग्राम पर रील बनाया, or we did this hoarding initially, or we sponsored some event. So what happened is sometimes you do not keep a track of the finance, like how much are you spending. So what helped me is to create a budget, the annual budget, and then again breaking it down to a quarter by quarter of my expenses of the marketing, and I made sure that I implemented to the T. And what happens is with the help of this, we were able to actually improve our profit margin by 1%, which is a big thing. Improving or reducing your expense ratio by a percentage, 1% also it makes a huge difference. So I would say that helped me, my CA mind helped me to do that. And I'm again grateful that what CA has taught me. 8 most successful Indian family businesses running over a century. A business running over more than 100 years is a big achievement. And I think we have so many examples in India, like for example, Murugappa, Godrej. Beside that, I have written that year of inception. We see Godrej, yes, that started in 1897. Aditya Birla started in 1857. So, and these are primarily family businesses. We think about that, they are listed companies, how are they family businesses? But no, being listed doesn't mean that it's a family business. They still have a majority of ownership of the business. No doubt they are corporates, but predominantly or intrinsically they are a family business. Godrej, Shapoorji Pallonji, Tata, TVS, Kirloskar, all of them are running for more than 100 years. And I think why or the success behind doing this is their dedication towards customer satisfaction. We all know the brand like Tata, which is known for the trust. People, they trust Tata, and that has helped Tata to almost continue it for so many years. So again, family businesses and customer focus, customer satisfaction go hand in hand. I think I would like to end my topic today. I hope I have not bored you. I tried to give you more of practical examples of what it is in entrepreneurship and family business if you are considering one. Key takeaways, lot of opportunities for CAs in entrepreneurship, family businesses. I'm sure you also have a lot of friends, family, and CAs who are into this. So, and obviously we have been listening about the India story, and how the next decade is actually about India. Like world over, people are talking about India. So I think a lot of opportunities are going to come up for CAs. Second is problem solving ability and communication skill is a must. What happens is generally in chartered accountancy during our times, almost 7-8 years back, communication skill was not a priority. There was more of problem solving, more of accounting, taxation. But then, you realize that communication skill is as important as all those knowledge. And I think somewhere MBAs, they learn about this right from the start. So I think, but right now I think things have changed. We have programs like these that we are attending, Youth Symposium, which I think is a great platform. In platforms like these, you understand about the importance of soft skills, the importance of communication, importance of presentation. So please also take care that you develop these skills as well along with chartered accountancy, because these skills are as important as the technical or accounting or financial skills. Last is again, work towards customer satisfaction in anything that you do. Maybe it's a CA firm, it is a business, it is starting something of their own. ultimately work towards customer satisfaction, and you will definitely succeed. That's from me. Thank you. And I wish all the best for future for all the attendees. And I think now, we can have Q&As if anyone has. Thank you.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, thank you so much. It was great to have you on board with us.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
we would like to thank you on behalf of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee. We thank you for your valuable time and efforts today. And I think you've provided some really useful insights to all of us. And I can say that because I'm
Hopefully.
part of a family business myself.
Oh, great.
And it was great that my father is a chartered accountant and we have a CA firm. So I think everyone who has joined us today would have found this session really helpful. And another point is that I would like to thank you because I think today you reminded us that what we can achieve as a community and how well groomed we are.
Sure.
And I think ICI is also doing a lot of measures. I think GXCS is really helpful for me.
Yeah,
That helped with the communication skills and everything, and that just pushed us to do better.
definitely.
We don't have any questions because this topic is very well presented. But I would like to invite our coordinators if anyone has a question and would like to share something. Let me just check one more time if we have any questions.
Tejas, how has been the transition for you from a finance person going into a creative line of marketing where, people think about marketing guys and it's like people come walking in half pants and, messed up hair, and a CA like you is all well suited up and well groomed. So
Right.
how has been the transition for you?
I think, it's not a transition actually. Being in a family business, you don't have a specific role. I've taken up marketing, but I think along with it, obviously I look into day-to-day operations as well. I look into finance as well. So I think in a family business, what I would say is there is no particular role that you do. And I think there was not actually a transition. I still look into finance along with doing marketing. But yeah, as a core, I have taken up marketing because I feel, when I joined in, there was no one to look after marketing. And now eventually, obviously, we have people below who do the day-to-day marketing activities. But yeah, I think as a transition, we don't wear half pants. Obviously, it's a very corporate structure, and we like to actually keep it as a brand. Because there are other employees also who are coming in. We don't run it as a family business thing. It is more of a brand. So right from the back office, even our office boys, everyone is, we have few standards to maintain. And I think all of them are doing a great job in that. Yes. Anything else?
So I have a question. As a member of a family business, how do you get your voice across? I think our parents' generation, they have a set of views and they have this mindset and thinking, and it's difficult for me personally to do
Yeah,
this.
so that is actually one of the important points. I think I somewhere didn't focus upon that much. So what happens in family business, you have elders who are who have run the business, who actually set up the business. They are the ones who have actually faced the entrepreneurship difficulties of setting up finance. Maybe they have not earned something in the initial years. So they have actually brought this up to where it is currently. So they have their thoughts, they have their mindset, and they do not want to change that. But as a second generation, how important, firstly, it is that you have to obviously put your ideas across. that this is what we should do. If for example, for myself, I will not say that right from day one my thoughts were matching, or whatever I proposed was accepted. A lot of times my proposals were not accepted. They're like, yaar, ye sab nahi ho sakta hai. This will not work for us. Which is later I actually thought about it. I discussed with them, and they said that why it doesn't work. And that time you realize that the experience also matters. But sometimes when I gave them the facts, where I actually gave them that why am I thinking something like this, or what is my idea is, they actually understood it. So if you give facts, if you prove it with a point, then I think it becomes easy, because somewhere they are not wrong, because they have seen something, they have brought this up, so they have that of a mindset. If you show them that, okay, why this is important, or what is happening in the industry outside, you show them some proofs, then they'll agree. Just as a common example, like when I wanted to start something, say like an Instagram reel, or I wanted to start influencers, it doesn't go well with the elders. It doesn't go well with my dad or my uncle. That what is influencers? You just have to pay them. क्या करते हो लोग? अब मेरे को business आएगा क्या? And their only thought is that when you are spending a rupee, you should earn 2 rupees. Sirf spend karke you're not earning, you're wasting the money. So what happens is you have to actually then tell them that what influencers do. You may not get the returns immediately, but over the period you will actually have a lot of brand awareness. And now we are seeing that people actually, they are seeing some reels, they are seeing some posts on Instagram, they're coming to us. Okay, we want this jewelry. So it is definitely difficult, but if you are really, if you have that belief and that, okay, nahi, meko ye karna hai, and things will happen, and you have to take the responsibility of it doesn't happen. Obviously, you have to take a responsibility of it, that if it doesn't happen, okay, I'll adjust my budget somewhere else. But let me do this small experiment, and let's go ahead with it. So yeah, I think it's important to put your voice across, and I'm sure if you explain to them, they will definitely listen to it.
We don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much once again for your time, and
Thank you.
it was really helpful. And we hope to have you soon with us again. I think I will pass on to the next coordinator.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, fellow chartered accountants. Now let's go on to the second speaker of today's meeting. He is a chartered accountant with 10 years of experience in the field of international taxation, transfer pricing, corporate taxation, and litigation. He's been associated with various companies such as Brilla, Sun Pharma, Skoda, Volkswagen. Currently, he is leading the direct taxation and accounts payable function at Brightstone India Group. He is none other than Sandeep. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. Am I audible, Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So good evening, and thank you for your valuable thanks. First of all, I would thanks to all respected seniors, Mr. Priti Madam and Gautam sir, and all team speakers, and all my colleagues and chartered accountants for the patient sharing. I will share my screen. Once my screen is visible, let me know. Is it visible, Shreya?
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Yes, thank you, Viral sir. Today's topic is basically opportunities in corporate sector, and as we know, as 20 years back, the whatever the structure or the department in the corporate organization vis-a-vis the modern corporate structure is totally a different. So let's be first try to understand how the modern structure of the organization in the currently organization, and in the respective verticals, how the chartered accountant will have a good opportunities. There are certain areas where we have a good opportunities in the upcoming years post the COVID-19, and that would be a very great and good opportunities that also we come to see in the next slides. So I will share my screen and I will rotate the screen. Just give me a minute. So my screen is visible, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so what we try to first understand what are the different verticals in the particular organization, and we have taken an example of the manufacturing industry. The reason why, comparatively, service sector in the manufacturing industry have a lot of verticals, a lot of ambiguities and complexities, because the lot of manufacturing functions create a different functionality and scope for the chartered accountant. So here we see when a manufacturing industry have a main core of business of production, there are a lot of support functions in the manufacturing sector who basically supports to the production of the organization. So they're like we have a main domain of the chartered accountant is the finance, where we have a financial reporting, account AR, accounts receivable, accounts payable, taxation, which includes direct taxation and indirect taxation, including GSTs, treasury functionality also we have for the financing and funding to the business, to running the business. There are certain department we have like internal audit to understand the processes and control the processes, to avoid any fraudulent activities, to control all business processes. There are department like costing, where basically to understand the cost element of the particular product manufacture, what are the fee overheads which we need to factor while manufacturing certain products and all that. We have a financial planning and reporting FP&A department also to make the reporting to our stakeholder and promoters. So, and sales, marketing, and purchase. We also seen in the industries payroll HR functionality, where there is a individual taxation, employee benefit activities, and social security compliances to the organization. So these are the all functionalities in the particular organization, which is pretty standard. And if you see the core finance function, how it will work, and where are the scope to the young chartered accountants in the corporate. So we will go one by one and try to understand what are the detailed scope available to the upcoming pass out chartered accountant in this respective field or verticals, and how they can achieve this basically excellence and expertise in the particular area of interest where they have. So we will go one by one, like one of the favorite vertical which I am interested from last 10 years is a direct taxation and transfer pricing, including international taxation. So this is the vertical where the any chartered accountant being a fresher can make his career or her career if he has a little bit of experience during their articleship in the taxation. So in direct taxation and transfer pricing, basically what kind of activities involved day to day, and how the fresh chartered accountant can make his career, that we will look into the separate slide which is upcoming into the detail. There are certain areas like AP and IR. So accounts payable and accounts receivable, there are main functionality in the corporate organization, where we have to manage the expenses and receivables. So that is also area where the chartered accountant currently have a huge potential. We see internal audit, as I told, is one of the forte of the chartered accountant, because chartered accountant syllabus already contains lot of the syllabus which almost cover the all functionalities practically in the corporates. So I believe we have a huge potentials. So we can make excellence in these all areas, be it controlling, financial reporting, treasury, and costing. we can understand one by one the detailed all areas. So financial reporting per se, if we can see, the financial reporting ideally comes preparation of financials. Preparation of financial as per IFRS, preparation of financial as per Ind AS, along with notes to account, and that present to the management, which actually need a sound knowledge of all companies acts provisions, including the taxation knowledge also be required, because financial reporting includes the tax computation, notes to account, deferred tax accounting, presentation of the schedules, notes preparation, effective tax reconciliation, and balance sheet preparation. So these are all the basically area where basically chartered accountant has their own forte and excellence, and they definitely can make his career or her career in the financial reporting area, which is a very good area, hectic and time consuming, and basically very time devoted area where the people has very good time has to spend for the preparation of financials and notes to accounts. We can move to the next vertical, which is a treasury. Treasury is a basically a functionality where we management or basically organization wanted to understand the what are the basically business going on, what is the working capital, and how that working capital needs to be funding. Along with that, after COVID-19 scenario, there are a lot of payments happen through the online portals, and because of that, there is a one area which emerged in the treasury department is a basically automation of payments through the payment gateway, like we have a national payment NPC app and other. So supply chain funding is another area where basically we can get it immediately funding to the our vendor with the prompt discount, and make the payment after the our credit period, so we can able to utilize the money for our working capital and running of the business. So treasury has a huge responsibility of running the business with the money. There are certain organization and corporates where there is a cost of the funding, so there might be a possibility if there is a global overseas presence for particular organization, we can have a cost of the funding at a lower cost by going to the external commercial borrowings and other way of the financing from the outside India, where there is a cost of funding or cost of financing is very low. So being a chartered accountant has a good syllabus cover up the all this financial modeling and all. I believe in the treasury there is a scope for the young chartered accountant to make his career or her career. Then we will move to the third one, which is a taxation. In the taxation, which is my favorite area, the taxation includes the transfer pricing, international taxation, where there is a cross-border transaction between the corporates. Also, corporate taxation and litigation management and litigation handling, which includes assessment proceeding handling. Corporate tax includes the tax calculation, advanced tax calculation of the corporate's profitability, determination of installment of the other advanced taxes. These are the cover under the tax areas. And one of the emerging, or we can say not yet settled law, is the GST, where there is a huge potential and huge scope for the chartered accountant to make his or her career, because GST is huge and vast, and every organization and every corporate has their own GST compliances. So we need to be very clear while they're doing this GST compliances also. So GST and customs being an organization who has a cross-border transaction and imports, definitely they has to make the customs compliances also along with the GST, which includes the other indirect taxes. So taxation per se is a very good and for future bright area for the all future chartered accountants who has to make their career in this or particular area or vertical. Then we will move to the financial planning and analysis, which is basically a management reporting vertical where we have to make the financial reporting under IFRS and India's also, which is covered in the financial reporting above. In the IF financial planning and analysis, there is a huge basically opportunity for the chartered accountant to make his career or career. The reason why this is also a reporting under the IFRS, which is more or less as compared to the index is similar, except certain transactions or certain arrangement. So chartered accountant can make a career in the FP&A vertical or department also. Then there is a AP and AR. AP, accounts payable and accounts receivable, is a main functionality of the organization, where we have to accrue the all expenses in the particular financial year and also revenue in the particular financial year. So to understand the accountability of the revenue and expenses, which is I believe is having a more sound knowledge to the chartered accountant, not more anyone. So chartered accountant has a good knowledge of the accounting, and because of that there is a good opportunity in accounts payable and accounts receivable area to the chartered accountant. Then we will move to the costing area. Costing area, the person or maybe a chartered who has a good hold on the costing areas and they wanted to make the career in the costing, they definitely go for the costing areas and costing department, which is every organization has prevailed right now to understand the costing of the particular product, variance analysis in the material costing and all that. Along with that, there is some audit compliances also in the costing department. So costing and controlling, these are the areas where definitely CA has a good hold and they can make his career. I will move to the next slide. There are certain emerge opportunities in the upcoming years, which we believe that would be a very important and maybe a future opportunities for a chartered accountant to make his career or her career in these areas. So what this is the opportunities which I experienced recently in the my organization also, and based on my discussion in the industries, my colleagues, these are the very important openings, or we can say opportunities and designation which emerge out of the post the COVID-19, because this is the opportunity which government has specified in some cases where there is a sustainability concern also arise in India, and we have to recycle the product. That also we will look into the detail when we go to the basically topic. So first a position or opportunity we can see is a finance IT business partner. Finance IT business partner is a basically a position which recently in the organization has basically arise, and this position is basically help finance and IT information technology to bridge a gap between finance and IT to map the all finance related process, to try to automate the manual process which continuously happen in the finance by using the tools like RPA, artificial intelligence, which actually helps to finance team to speed up the process of making the payments, receivables, and all that. So the person who has a great knowledge of the finance and all processes in the finance department, along with have a good interest in the information technology, definitely either he or she can make his career or her career in this new emerge position like finance IT business partner, who basically try to bridge a gap between the IT technology, information technology, and finance team. So this is basically a good area and where we have a good opportunities in this. Then we can see a second opportunity in the corporate, which is a newly or emerge in the lot of organization, is a business sustainability manager. Business sustainability manager or business sustainability team, basically what they are doing is basically recently in 2022, Central Pollution Control implemented extended producers responsibility notification, and under that extended producers responsibility notification, every industry which have produced the waste, like rubber industry, tire industry or plastic industry, there needs to be have a basically needs to recycle their product. So how that notification work in detail, or we can summarize, I can summarize you the basically how we will work. So basically government of India has given a responsibility on every corporate to recycle their product or waste, which is manufactured 2 years back. So they have given a responsibility, and for that they have to comply. Along with that, they have to also design out their plan how they will going to recycle. So this is the area where definitely being a CA needs to be have a expertise, because this area is emerge, and in these areas basically apart from the manufacturing process and costing, we need to also analyze how to recycle that product through the recycler or through the in-house production processes. So this is the very good opportunity which I have seen recently emerging in the a lot of organization, and this will help to the chartered accountant to make a career in this kind of verticals. Then we will move to the next field, which is a basically uh, business development manager and corporate social responsibility manager. These are the two opportunities, or we can say things which anyways from last 4 to 5 years is coming in the organization, that business development is anyway coming, but corporate social responsibility is recently from last 4 or 5 years has a companies under Companies Act, they have given the mandates to spend the money on the corporate social responsibilities. So business development manager, they have to focus on the evaluation of new business stream and setting up the offshore unit and shared service center. So in practical example, in my organization, we have set up the shared service center in India with one chartered accountant who heading the entire department, where we actually hiring the technical team along with the chartered accountant who basically serve for the audit, and also we had the data analytics and data scientist person who basically serve the all back office, or we can say a support work to the our group companies who based out in the Europe and USA. So I think business development is not only the restricted to the development of new business stream, also setting up of the offshore unit and getting the backup work, or we can say back work from the our group company with a proper skill set defined worker and at low cost. That would be also a good opportunity in India to set up the offshore unit and shared service center. So these are the basically business development manager and the we can say position. And in corporate social responsibility manager designation, basically there is an opportunity for the chartered accountant CAs, because there is some legal provisions coming, because we have to do the compliances under the Companies Act to spend the 2% of profitability of the average last 3 years for the CSR activities. And here along with the maintaining of the CSR spend and compliances, we have to also focus on some CSR activities which forming part of the donation activity, which help organization to make the tax benefit also. So being a CA and having a good knowledge of the tax and all companies act make an career in the CSR areas also. So I think these are the areas which really helpful to make the career to the all the peoples in this the career all verticals. Uh, these are the I think from my side I think I have little bit covered early, but I can spare the time for the questions and answer if you have. Shreya? Yes, Hiral.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. We had a wonderful session. We'll see if we have questions. We'll read it out to you.
Sure, sir, sure.
Uh, Sir, we have a classic question
Yes, sir.
from Delhi NCR. CA or BTech, which is a better career option for 12th pass outs?
CA, obviously, sir.
Bhanuji from Jodhpur. No, sorry. Um, okay. We have another question from Nagpur. Priyanka ji has a question. Sir, sometimes it may happen that there is a difference of opinion between father and son on some issue. Father likes traditional practice and then a newly qualified chartered accountant. How to deal with that? Psychological question, sir.
I think Tejas would be a right person because they have given a session on the entrepreneurship.
True.
Tejas?
Maybe he's not there.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, Tejas.
So
Yes, sir.
I think I even I answered this question, very similar question I had. So basically, yeah, there is a difference of mindset. There is a different opinions, but I think it is important initially to first, I think, work for few years, understand. Initially when you just enter the business and you give ideas, it will not be easily taken. But I think I would suggest that initially few years take an experience, and then you can actually give out more ideas, and I think it will be easily accepted. But again, if you have a very good idea, it's important to prove it with a proof or with a fact that okay, this is how and why are you thinking about this. And if you have to put your point across, you have to obviously be very passionate. I think then if you come up with that point again and again, at one point of time, they will definitely understand and listen to you.
Thank you, Tejas ji. Darshana ji from Mumbai has a query that any work from home opportunities for women?
Yeah, so there are a couple of organization who has a great place to have work award winning, like we have an organization. So we have a specifically not for women but for all employees having a 2 days of work from home and 3 days of work from office culture along with the flexibility of hours. And in certain areas after COVID-19, the more focus is on the deliverables of the task, not on the office presence is required as much of. and that is based on the reporting manager definitely.
Thank you, sir. Sumit Jain has a query. I had scored 40 out of 40 in MCQs in international taxation paper 6C in CA final. Is it good to go for international taxation domain?
Yes, Sumit, actually, international taxation and transfer pricing is still area where a lot of scope, because of after globalization, a lot of multinationals from the outside India and lot of multinational Indian entities goes outside India. So obviously, whenever the cross-border transaction will happen, there is a scope for the international taxation litigation, international taxation compliance, and that will be a good opportunity and career for the future, because almost more than 5,000 litigation for the transfer pricing and international taxation is pending at the department. So you can imagine what kind of interpretational issue, or we can say challenges in the taxation field in the international.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Karthik ji from Salem has a query. How to expand into newer areas of practice?
Okay, I think in the new area of practice, we have, as I told by Tejas, given an example of Nikita, where she started the practice at the age of 24, and she started the fintech solution related practices. So there are certain areas where still apart from traditional practice, we can explore the opportunities like automation, IT also automation tool, or finance automation tool, which are the still new and emerging areas where we can have opportunities in the market, like RPA, artificial intelligence, blockchain analysis. As we know, all ChatGPT also coming. So these are the all automated tools which helps the organization to speed up the processes, and that is the main thing. We can do the explore the opportunity in that area also.
Sir, as of now, the questions have exhausted, but we will still wait for a couple of minutes if we get more questions.
Sure, sir.
It seems your explanation itself was very self-explanatory about the newer areas, and lot of brainstorming has to be done by people themselves. Each of us has to put in more and more efforts to understand newer things. It was really nice. Okay. Pankaj ji from Bhubaneswar has a query. How to get good control on Ind AS and US GAAP, as most of opportunities coming are of the above skill sets.
Yeah. So Pankaj, basically to get the skill set on the Ind AS, definitely there are a lot of trainings from the Big Fours. Also, we have a study material in the institutes also. IFRS, we have also training arranged by the Big Fours, KPMG, Deloitte, and PwC. But if you can say from the opportunity or better future perspective, definitely in opportunity in the IFRS is good. Index is also good, but IFRS, because we lot of multinational organization in India, and they wanted to have a financial reporting as per international financial standards, and they have a good areas and they have a good opportunities to work on that.
Thank you, sir. Sir, so you say traditional practitioners like me should shut our shop and go in for newer areas?
No, sir. Not definitely. Our traditional forte is always be our excellence and our basically a main forte. So I don't think so that will be a exhaust.
No. That's just on a lighter vein. Manoj Khandelwalji from Jaipur has a query. Sir, what are the opportunities in transfer pricing?
Yeah, so Manoj, I will be work. I have worked with the almost 9 plus 10 years in the transfer pricing area. So I have seen the pharmaceutical industries, textile industries also, automobile industry also, and now in the tire industry. Every organization has the transfer pricing litigation and transfer pricing uh, arrangement. So definitely, as you know, from the academics, there is a transfer pricing separate cell in the income tax department who basically minutely observe the all transfer pricing related transaction cross border happen. So transfer pricing is very good opportunity in the industry and in the consulting also.
Thank you, sir. Anybody still has a query can post it, or we'll just close for the day in a couple of minutes. Sandeepji, I feel that our participants have gained real knowledge. So I think we will close the session for the day.
Sure, sir.
Just for the task, the pleasant task of vote of thanks for the session. I would say, on behalf of the Women's and Young Members Excellence Committee, I would really thank you from the bottom of our heart, Sandeepji, for you have really explained us the various opportunities that managers, or we can even go to the business owners level, apart from the traditional practice, having the angle of artificial intelligence as well, solving and answering the queries with respect to different areas has been of real value addition to all the querists as well as the participants. Thank you, sir, for accepting our opportunity, for accepting our invitation and delivering a beautiful talk. Thank you
so
so
much. Thank you so
We'll
much.
close for the day. Thank you, sir.